Hello once again, my friends and my fellow Star Trek fans. I'd like to welcome you to another video, and this is going to be on the subject of Star Trek and Star Trek model kits. Now, over the years, I've shown you the different histories of the different model kits related to Star Trek, and today we're going to take a look at the most recent kit to come full circle. I'm talking about the AMT D7 Alien Klingon Battle Cruiser. So this one right here was a kit that I had done. This one is from 1968, and what I did was we lit the base and we lit the ship up. We did a little bit more lighting than the kit involved, but this is the finished result. What I want to talk to you guys today is this model. We have the origins. Well, I'm going to show you the 1968 release, and I'll show you the re-release, the release into the 90s, and we're going to come full circle with the latest round 2 version of this awesome kit. So my friends, let's go over to the desk where there's a little more room, a little more light, and we're going to talk about the Klingons, the Klingon D7 Alien Klingon Battle Cruiser. Okay, so let's take a look at the model kits of the Klingon D7. Let's put the light on. So this is the original release. This is AMT, and this is the Alien Battle Cruiser as seen on Star Trek from the Klingon warrior empire. You may notice that there is a planet. It looks like Saturn, but there are 2 rings on the front of the box. Also, it has phasers coming out of the front. Now, we've never seen phasers coming out of the front on the original series. Actually, I think that's some kind of an antenna or something that's in the front. Anyway, the box art has lasers coming from the front, and we see the markings on the Klingon Battle Cruiser. The one that I had, that we made, we opened it up and there were no decals inside, so that was a later thing. But this is from 1968, and this is the original release. You can tell this is the original. You see the black box on the side of the box, and it says, as seen on NBC TV. Free offer. Look inside for details. Now, Aurora also released a kit, a reissue from AMT, and because they're in the UK, they had as seen on BBC TV. That's how you can tell the American AMT release as opposed to the Aurora UK release. You can see the box over has the Enterprise, the USS Enterprise Space Cruiser, and it gives a scale. And we see the Klingon Battle Cruiser. This is AMT Corporation, 1225 East Maple Road, Troy, Michigan, 48084. And we have the Klingon Star Trek, created by Gene Roddenberry, the Alien Battleship Cruiser Spaceship Model Kit. And this is AMT. On the other side of the box, we have that other familiar black box that shows the features. This is the unique Demon of Deep Space design. Colorful Klingon decals, display options, space base or skyhook mounting, forward control and cruise quarters fully illuminated by operating lights. And you can see the battle cruiser, the Klingon Empire, and you've got the top view, the side view, and the front view. And much like the other side, this is from AMT, Star Trek Alien Battle Cruiser Spaceship Model Kit from the Klingon Warrior Empire. So when we look at the side of the box now, that's where we're going to get to see the kit number. And this is S952250. And hopefully you guys can see, that says 1966 Desilu Productions Incorporated. All rights reserved. Again, 1966 Desilu Productions. And kit S952 250. Pretty much the same as the other side. And the only thing on the back is there's actually a number on mine. It's 100-387. And it looks like somebody wrote a number. And this is actually, yeah, I don't know if that's from the factory or not, but anyway, this was the original issue of this kit. Again, this one had lights. This is the only one that had lights. So they changed the box. This is what we refer to as a long box. You can tell anytime people refer to as a long box is because back in the original release days, the box was much larger than what they reissued it. The reissue is in a much smaller box. And actually, unfortunately, I don't have every single issue. I don't have the reissue of this. And that would have come out later in the 70s, late 60s, early 70s, where they basically cut the box in half, they shrink the picture down, and they remove the planet. Now, the only thing I do have to compare that picture to, and I want to put this aside for a moment, because in the timeline, this is later in the timeline. This is round 2, but I'll get to that in a minute. They actually changed the picture for the box art. You can see instead of shooting forward with the phasers, this Klingon D7 is firing at the Enterprise. So they put the Enterprise on the cover. The Enterprise is returning fire, and they removed the planet. So hopefully you guys can tell the difference. And this is the original, and this is what the box art looked like in the next release of the kit after that. But this kit itself is in a collector tin, and I'll get to this later. Alright, so we got the original release, and I showed you the box art for the next issue. So, it's been a while. It goes a while until the next reissue of the kit. Now we're going to go to 1991, I believe. Let's see, let's just make sure. Yes, we flash forward to 1991, and this is the AMT Original Edition Klingon Cruiser model kit. You can see a picture on the box, and it has the same molding as the original release. Look at the price. $349. And this is from Star Trek, and you can see we have an illustration on the box as well, and then we actually have 2 of them, 2 ships. And this is, at this time, it became AMT Ertl. So looking at the side of the box, you can see they show actually a finished picture of the model. You can see the base is drastically different from the triangle with the arm coming up. And this is molded in gray. There are different colors in the original molding. The one I got was blue. The one I got was gray. This is the kit number 6743, and this is the original edition Klingon cruisers from Star Trek. Again, AMT Ertl. And we have a finished model on the box. Looking at the other side, you can see again we have kit number 6743, AMT Ertl. And this is a highly detailed model kit, measuring 14 inches long when assembled. Display stand included, authentic full-color decals, paint and cement not included. Includes parts to build one Klingon cruiser. You can see the different languages. And we move on to the trademark 1991 Paramount Pictures. Made authorized user, the Ertl Company, Dyersville, Iowa 52040. So basically, we look at the ends of the box now, and you see the kit number 6743, original Klingon battle cruiser, and we have the same illustration that was on the cover, and that is the same on both ends of the box. So now we have a little bit of information on the back of the box now. This is AMT Ertl. You can see this is stamped 0931. And this is, please retain this address for reference. And it shows some of the address. So again, they had flash forwarded quite a bit, a ways for this kit. The next one that I have to show you in the timeline, we're going to go even later. I think we're actually going to go to 2011. Let me just make sure I'm getting the date right. Yes, this is from 2011. And round 2 had taken the box of the re-release, not the original release, and made it into a collector tin. And if you're curious on what's in this, I had made a full video on this and I had shown you guys, so if you want to check that out. But this is the illustration that was on the original release, with the exception the Enterprise is off her starboard side instead of the planet, and she's firing phasers at the Enterprise. You can see the shields protecting the ship, and she's returning fire. And the letters are actually molded, embossed, Star Trek. And this is the AMT Klingon Battle Cruiser Plastic Model Kit. And looking at the side of the box, you can see this is AMT, Star Trek Klingon Battle Cruiser. We got the illustration, and we have the features. You can see General Core at the end. Over 15 inches long with detailed chrome parts. Decal sheet and base with metal support rod, and that's the thing that round 2 does. And it's round 2 4073 Megan Beeler Court, South Bend, Indiana 46628. Cement not included. And you can see General Core. Let's see. Looking at the other side, you can again see General Core. Or Commander, excuse me, AMT, Star Trek. We got the Klingon Battle Cruiser Plastic Model Kit. And we have the illustration. Now when we look over at the box, the original release, as seen on TV, now we see the AMT registered trademark. And you can see round2models.com, StarTrek.com, and you can see the other information in this box. So looking at the ends of the box, this is kit number AMT 699. You can see basically what's on the side of the box, and that's the same on both ends. AMT 699. And they actually put something on the box. You can see this is the well, I'm perceiving as a finished model, and they have this lit, but this does not come with lights, just to be clear. Unyielding, a kit too disastrous to miss, the Klingon D7 class battle cruiser. This ship made its first appearance in the second season of Star Trek: The Original Series. Created by Matt Jeffries to evoke a threatening, even vicious display, the ship's design was modeled on a manta ray in both plastic shape and color. The spread wing primary hull, long neck, and the bulbous command module provides an instantly recognizable form. That is, if you can see them. Remember, Imperial Klingon starships utilize the cloaking device. Klingons are a warrior culture, driven by the pursuit of honor and glory. The Empire uses warships. Almost exclusively, Klingon vessels are equipped with sublight impulse and warp drive engines for faster than light travel. They are heavily armed and can draw from an extensive arsenal of offensive weapons. The interior of Klingon vessels are Unitarian in nature, keeping the Klingon ideals of strength, speed, and stealth alive. Now the most iconic enemy ship in Star Trek lore returns. The Klingon battle cruiser, produced in 1/650 scale. The kit includes classic ship parts, decal sheet, dome style base, and assembly instructions in a collector's edition tin package. You can see a picture of the finished model, and this is what they're talking about. The dome with the metal support rod. Decals include the Klingon markings and the new window decals. If you can see that right there. Ball jointed dome base. Details accurate to the filming model used in the show. You can see the grills on the side of the back of the propulsion units. You can see the vent on the side. And this is AMT 699/06. And this came out in October of 2011. And again, if you're curious on what's in this kit, I have done a video on it. So now we really flash forward. Again, I'm only showing you the ones that I have in my possession. And what round 2 did was they brought back the original box. I like it and I hate it. I love the fact that we have the retro packaging because it's just like the original. I hate it because what's going to happen is you're going to have people on eBay selling these and deceiving people, intentional or not, into thinking that this was the original kit, and it's not. This one does not come with lights. It's got a totally different base. This one has the dome with the support rod. You can see the Klingon alien battle cruiser from the Klingon Warrior Empire is seen on Star Trek. Again, she's firing lasers or phasers from the front end. There's no Enterprise, and the return of the planet with the 2 rings. So that's what's on the cover. So now when we look on the sides, you can see as instead of saying as seen on NBC TV, it says as seen on TV. Details accurate to the filming model used in the show. Again, we have that chart where you can see the Enterprise space cruiser and the Klingon cruiser. And just like on the original, Star Trek created by Gene Roddenberry. Klingon alien battle cruiser. Now when we look at the other side, it still says featuring in that black box. This one says unique demon of the deep space design. Let's see. With dome display base with metal support rod, full color decals with multiple window options and Klingon markings. For 2-color scheme, show accurate detail. You can see the graph where we got the top, the side from the port side, and the front view of the ship, like on the original release. Battle Cruiser Klingon Empire from Star Trek. And just like the original release, it doesn't say Star Trek created by Gene Roddenberry on this side. Now when we look at the ends of the box now, you can see this is a totally different kit. This is AMT 1428-12. Star Trek Klingon Battle Cruiser Spaceship Model Kit. And it's the same thing on the other end of the box. AMT 1428-12. And what makes another thing that makes this stand out, that's different, is this has pictures and printing on the back as well. You can see the Star Trek logo. And this is the Klingon Battle Cruiser from AMT 1650 Plastic Assembly Model Kit. You can see, just for the record too guys, this is actually molded in color. Whereas the other ones, the one from the 2011 was molded in gray, the one from 1991 was molded in gray, and the one from 1968, the one that I had, was gray, but they've also been released in different colors like black or white. This one is the finished model. You can see the revised decals with multiple window options and Klingon markings for 2-color schemes. Molded in color, and this is the same view as that iconic shot from Star Trek. Details accurate to the filming model used in the show. Now all these windows are actually decals. You guys may or may not know that the actual filming model used in the 1960s was actually, it was made of wood mostly, but it wasn't lit. There was no lights on it at all. What they did was they actually projected light up on it. You can see the finished model again, 14.5 inches long. This has 42 parts and includes the dome base with the metal support rod. Again, this is totally different than the previous. The 2011 release had this as well, but the 1991 release had a totally different base, and the 1960s release had a really different base. The Klingons are a warrior culture known for their vicious nature and repugnant behavior. Driven by the pursuit of honor and glory, the Empire uses warships almost exclusively, and the Klingon D7 battle cruiser has served them well. Capable of faster-than-light travel and heavily armed, the ship's most dangerous asset is its cloaking device, supplying the ability to camouflage itself until the time of attack. The interior of the Klingon vessels are utilitarian in nature, keeping the Klingon ideals of strength, speed, and stealth. Klingon battle cruiser made its explosive debut in the second season of Star Trek: The Original Series. The original filming model of the ship was in fact created by AMT. They were commissioned by producers of the show to build it based on Matt Jeffries' design. Since the origin AMT releases, revisions have been made to certain kit parts to precisely match the ship as it appeared on screen. Now the most iconic enemy ship in Star Trek lore returns. Klingon battle cruiser produced in 1/650 scale, the kit features detailed parts, dome-style base, decal sheet, and assembly instructions. And this is AMT 1428-12. This is brand new. I just got it in the mail from pre-order, and you can see the StarTrek.com and 2023 official release. And that is the most recent release of this model kit, to bring it full circle. Now, if you guys are wondering the differences, I want to show you, just in case you're looking for this kit, or the original kit. Let's say you're on eBay and you're a collector and you want to get the original kit. So somebody puts this up and they're actually trying to pass it off as this one. And you can see the similarities right down to the planets, the red star. The only thing, and again, they can change this in editing the pictures, but the reissue is a little bit more darker, where there's more contrast as opposed to the original release. But other than that, when you look at the front, everything is identical. From right down to the fonts, the apostrophes, or the quotes, excuse me, and the colors of the wording are the same on both kits. So now we'll take a look, and one of the glaring differences I want to show you guys is now, as opposed to, well, let's look at this end first. You can see it's pretty much identical, from the colors to the wording to the font. We move over, you can see that graph, same thing, except now the top one has AMT Corporation and it gives the address. And that's the original release. The one on the bottom is the re-release by Round 2, and it says Battle Cruiser Klingon Empire. When you move over, they still have the boxes as seen on NBC. The original release is a little bit taller, as seen on NBC TV. The one on the bottom is as seen on TV, and the one on top says free offer, look inside for details, and the bottom, the reissue, says details accurate to the filming model used in the show. So if we look over at the other side, again, they're both identical on the left side of the box. The trademark on the original is a little bit larger on the AMT logo. Coming across, you can see they both have the little chart, the little graph. Klingon Cruiser, Klingon Empire, Star Trek, Battle Creek, I can't really make out that bottom word. Made in litho in the USA. And the one on the bottom just says Battle Cruiser Klingon Empire Star Trek. And then they both have the box that says featuring. The one on the bottom now, the new release, has different wording. You can see the one on top is operated by operating lights. This one, the reissue, does not have any lights. So when we look at the ends of the box, again, pretty much identical. Obviously the biggest takeaway and the differences is the top one, the original release, is S952-250, and the bottom one is AMT 1428-12. So anything, if you see the model number and it's AMT, you know this is not the original release, because AMT back in the 60s, these kits were started with the letter S. This is S952-250, and the Enterprise would have been S951. And you can see everything else is pretty much identical. And in this case, it looks like the original release is a little better, a little more defined than the bottom one. And it should be the same on both ends of the box. Yep, they're identical. And again, one of the really big differences, if you're looking for the different kits, is the original release has nothing but cardboard on the back, whereas the reissue has the picture of the finished model and has some more retro packaging style graphics. So if you want to be able to tell the difference, there are a lot of ways you can tell that this is not an original release. I just don't want to see any of you guys fall for deceptive sellers trying to pass this off as the original, whether it's intentional or not. I'm not making a judgment, I'm just telling you guys to be careful. So let's recap. We've got the 1968 release. And the next one that I have, let me get it back up here. The next one that I have, we go to 1991, the 1991 release. Then we flash forward to 2011, and finally we come full circle with the 2023 release, or 24, I'm just getting it now. So my friends, I hope you found this video entertaining as well as informative, and this was pretty cool. I was looking forward to getting this. We will be doing a build on this. I got a playlist all set to this model kit, and we'll be doing a build off this series. I'm not sure if I'm going to light mine or not. That's going to be a different video. But for now, my friends, I just wanted to show you the different releases of this particular model kit. So my friends, until my next video, hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.